In today's video, I'm going to talk about Rawdog, which is a generative AI tool. It's open source and available on GitHub. Now, the tool introduces itself as generate and auto-execute Python script in the command line interface. So in a sense, it is similar to OpenAI Assistant API that we have earlier seen. But I think because of the capabilities being made available locally in your command line interface, the tool is more proficient in the sense that it can make you a power user. Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to make use of OpenAI API key. However, the tool allows you to install a local LLM and use that for the same execution purposes. So let's go to command prompt and let's start installing the tool. I already have Python and pip installed, so I'll just go ahead and execute the command. Now Rawdog has been installed and now it is the time to set the OpenAI API key. Please note that and delete that key. So generate your own and use it. Rawdog has been installed. I've also set up the OpenAI API key. Now it is the time to start asking the question to Rawdog. So to begin with, I'll type Rawdog and then followed by the question. But since I'm making use of OpenAI API key, it's going to take a while. However, if you have a local LLM installed, the response is going to be pretty quick. Let me move to a different folder. So far so good. Okay, next I'm going to ask Rawdog to draw the scatter plot of all the files which are available in this particular folder. But let me not specify in this folder just to see whether Rawdog understands the context or not. This is good. At least it's asking me for information back. So now let me ask the question differently. Okay, this makes sense because we've got 3 Excel files, 1 JPG, 1 TXT, and 1 PNG. So this looks good. I'll try to move forward from here. Rawdog, list all the files. Okay, the files have been listed. Now I'll ask Rawdog to remove the files which have metadata in their names. Again, just to demonstrate that how tools like these can make you power users. This is good. We've come across an error, and I think this is what I also wanted to highlight. The behind-the-scene Python code has been written and executed on the fly. So let's try to ask the same question in a slightly different way. This is good. The confirmation that we've got is that 2 files which actually contain metadata in the name have been removed. We'll also confirm it by listing again. But this also highlights that Rawdog may not be such an efficient tool when it comes to executing 2 commands in one go. So this was about folder and file structure. Let's try to move on from it. Now, let's say I want to identify how many ports are open on my system, but I don't know the command for it. So rather than asking the command, let me ask Rawdog to actually execute that command and list me the open ports. This is good. Okay, let me clear the screen just to make it more readable for the viewers. Next, I'm going to ask it one good thing about this command execution is that it is working behind the scene in memory, and that's something we would want to see for various operations, network operations and others. For example, I'm a QA user and I want text files to be generated for my dummy testing. These are the sorts of tools which can give rise to productivity. Now, just to showcase your user, this is the output file which was generated by the last command. Next, I'm going to ask Rawdog to list on all the images file which are again present in this particular context, in this particular folder, and then I'll instruct it to convert one of the files into another format. Okay, these are the 2 files. Conversion has taken place. Now back to the folder, and as you can see, the JPEG file is there, but there is a new file which has been converted into PNG. Lastly, let's try to push the boundary of Rawdog. Now just to showcase you, This is how the file looks like as of today. This is a colorful file. So again, behind the scene, it is going to install the right tools. If they are not available, it might even ask you to install another tool. For example, if you want to fiddle with the movies, it might ask you to install FFmpeg. And this is the power of this tool. It has successfully converted into black and white. So if I go back to the folder, I can see this is a black and white styler thumbnail. If I double click it, it surely is converted into black and white canvas. So without me requiring to install various tools for network operation, for folder and file structure, and there are tons of other operations which can be performed. Now with that into place, it should be obvious to all of us that any day Windows, Linux and Mac would have such tools embedded within the operating system. So we'll have local LLM which will help us fiddle around and make us more productive. I hope you like it, and I'll be back with another GenAI video. Thank you.